My name's Klebahn. I'm a consulting professor here at Stanford in the engineering department in the design division, and do quite a bit of work in the D.School, which is something relatively new at Stanford. My courses range from courses on entrepreneurship, like Launchpad, to courses on really design leadership and innovation leadership, like Design Garage, and the course d.Leadership. And on top of that, I do some of the executive programs here at Stanford, really around leading innovation and design process. How do you routinely innovate? I came to Stanford as a graduate student. I was a student of David Kelly's in the product design program. And before that, I was kind of did a number of different jobs, but it always had an interest in making things, and particularly in products themselves, how they were put together. Sort of the engineering of it is what brought me here. So I took a program at Stanford in engineering. Actually took all the engineering training, but on top of that, got the design training, which really David's been a mentor and a terrific figure and a huge force in that program. So in my career, I did some startup things after I left Stanford. So I did a snowshoe company, had some other startup ideas that didn't do so well, but that was something I did for almost 10 years, and then I went on and actually took on roles in different companies. I took on a leadership role at Patagonia, the clothing company, and ultimately a CEO role at Timbuktu, a bag company, and then in the last 2 years I've been back here at Stanford teaching full-time. One from way back, which was from the snowshoe company. So a couple of years into starting Atlas Snowshoe Company, which is making these modern snowshoes. And the company was beginning to grow after several years into it and coming along quite well. I thought we really needed a low-cost product, something to sell to the masses, something you could sell in Costco or something like that. That was the entire sort of design directive, if you will, for this product, and basically produced what hit the cost. So I thought, if we're going to make a product for, $25 or whatever the price was, it has to cost $12, and simple math, and I'll design that and get it done. And the product was sort of an extraordinary flop because I never went and talked to a single customer. And I think the biggest thing I've learned is you always start from a customer need and work backwards. My customers weren't clamoring for a lower cost product. There were some wholesalers that were capable of selling lower cost product, but there was no end consumer. There was nobody in those stores looking for the product. There was nobody wanting to use the product in sort of the form I was going to deliver it. In my early career, I'd all be about an entrepreneur, and it's to me that defines sort of a master of your own, starting a company and being a principal in that, and the driving force behind that. And I think, particularly as I went to work in other companies and had to drive change within other companies, I've thought of myself more as an innovator, and I would say that's really more how I would define myself. And I think it's a much broader definition. Your ability to go into a team and affect change, into an organization and affect change, to drive something new out into the world that has an impact. And I think that has nothing to do with actually having to have it be a business per se, or having to be the driving force or the owner or sort of the only name involved. You can be a member of an innovative team and still be an innovator. I think that the thing I've learned in my career is I used to think it was all about creativity, but without implementation, it really is innovation. Innovation is something that actually lives in the world, has a contribution, has an impact, hopefully for the better, and that I think would be what I would define as innovation. What I like about working at Stanford is the culture, and the culture is one of it's fundamentally a meritocracy, what I also like is ideas matter here, and what's different here than many places I've worked or other schools I've had the pleasure to visit is oftentimes your title doesn't matter that much. If you have good ideas and you're working hard, your ideas can see daylight here, and you can actually make change happen. And I think that's something I see as part of sort of the formula that makes Silicon Valley successful and helps it renew, is if you have good ideas, they can go someplace.